finance.
But that's not your only investment philosophy. When we scan through your portfolio, you also have a REPCO home, which is in the housing finance business. It's not a cheap stock, and from a price to book perspective, and there is certainty of growth because housing finance companies have been doing really well. So, how do you play that story? What's the conviction that drives you there?
Well, again, like I said, I don't want to make this about So I think
just your thought process.
Yeah,
You're not getting into buy or sell.
I would say first of all, in general, levered institutions, one should be really careful of levered institutions. And I think also in general, there is some elements of a bubble in housing finance. Maybe not amongst the listed players, but anyone and their brother with some money wants to start a housing finance company.
True.
And we are starting to see some of them having difficulties. And so I think lending is a difficult business. I think one of the simple things to remember about lending is when you make a sale, the cash leaves. It's not good to be in a business that when you make a sale, the cash leaves instead of coming back. And so we have to have really strong approaches to make sure the cash comes back. So I've looked at several of the housing finance companies. REPCO is a little bit unusual in the sense that the demographic they're servicing, typically they don't have any competition. The only competition they have is the usurious money lender in the village, who's charging 30, 40, 50%. And so they're actually taking people from that type of environment into a more sensible environment. And so in the kind of rural geographies and the 10 lakh ticket price type areas that they're going into, they have a moat around that. The second more important thing with them is that in the last 10 plus years, the write-offs approach zero. So they've had NPAs and all of that, but they've always had write-backs against that. So actual write-offs have been a rounding error, and that's the most important thing. And of course, one of the things I don't know as an investor, and I hope it's the case, is we don't know what happens in the future. So I'm making an extrapolation that the lending discipline they've had in the past will continue in the future. I'm in a business where there's a high error rate. 30-40% error rates is normal even for Warren Buffett. And so we will see how it plays out, but I think the odds are good.